Oh man, get a load of this. I absolutely love it when the wokies start turning on each other. You know, I'm really starting to think James Cameron is a little salty that Avatar: The Way of Water is underperforming. It may only be slightly below original box office predictions, but James Cameron just seems to be lashing out all over the place. So I'm guessing he was really hoping his big sequel would be breaking records left and right. I mean, why else would he be doing all of this? Just the other day, James was caught on camera giving the middle finger to fans who were asking for his autograph outside of an Avatar 2 event. I just made a freaking video on it yesterday. Check it out after this video is over, by the way, if you want. And now today, we have this other story about James Cameron who, get this, blames Linda Hamilton and Arnold Schwarzenegger for the absolutely dog shit Terminator Dark Fate being a flop. Absolutely unreal. Let's check it out. James Cameron blames original Terminator stars for Dark Fate flop. It's a woke-on-woke attack. Mr. Testosterone is Poison versus Arnold, fuck your freedom, Schwarzenegger.
Screw your freedom.
I won't make a crack at Linda Hamilton, though. As far as I know, she isn't a loudmouthed woke Hollywood celebrity. You know, I never hear anything about her going out there and lecturing people on how they should vote and shit. She seems cool, but still, James Cameron went after her, too. For those wondering just how out of ideas Hollywood and James' 5 Avatar movies Cameron are, Cameron is thinking about doing another Terminator movie. For fuck's sake. The absolute last thing we need is another Terminator movie. And one being written and directed by James Cameron wouldn't even be able to get me on board. After all, he helped write Dark Fate, and that movie had so many freaking problems and was woke as hell. So James Cameron says, if I were to do another Terminator film and maybe try to launch the franchise again, which is in discussion, oh my god, but nothing has been decided, I would make it much more about the AI side of it than bad robots gone crazy, Cameron told the Smartless podcast this week. Yeah, that doesn't sound like some groundbreaking idea so mind-blowingly intriguing that it warrants yet another Terminator film. Oh wow, it will focus more on the AI side of things instead of evil robots. I'm so excited by this idea, I can barely keep my composure. Cameron also blamed the failure of the most recent Terminator reboot, 2019's Dark Fate, on, get this, not the ridiculous sight of a female midget presented to us as a mighty warrior and world savior. According to the King of the World, the problem was Linda Hamilton and Arnold Schwarzenegger. James continues, I think the movie could have survived having Linda in it. The 68-year-old Avatar director said, I think it could have survived having Arnold in it. But when you put Linda and Arnold in it and then, you know, she's 60-something, he's 70-something, all of a sudden it wasn't your Terminator movie. It wasn't even your dad's Terminator movie. It was your granddad's Terminator movie. And we didn't see that. There are so many things wrong with that statement for James, I don't even know where to begin. Yeah, while it was goofy as all hell to see a 68-year-old woman shooting rocket launchers and flying out of airplanes in a Humvee crashing into a dam, you know, I always remember this hysterical quote from Mike on Half in the Bag in regards to their old age and doing all those crazy things.
Then halfway through, look, you have a 98-year-old woman who's flying out of a plane inside of a Humvee, crashing onto Hoover Dam, going into the water. Old people just have to turn slightly and they injure themselves.
So even though it was insanely ridiculous seeing old people doing that insane shit, Breitbart really hits the nail on the head when they say that Linda Hamilton and Arnold Schwarzenegger were the only reasons anybody paid to see the movie. I mean, come on, they sure as hell didn't go to see it because they decided to kill John Connor as a child in the first 2 minutes of the frickin' movie, just so they could replace him with some boring, no-name Hispanic actress, all in the name of female empowerment. Give me a break. They were not the problem. Oh, please. Arnold Schwarzenegger and Linda Hamilton were the only reasons to see the movie. It was the woke tartary, social justice box checking, and ludicrous idea of a little squirt with a pigtail saving the world that made Dark Fate ridiculous. Exactly. It was the pointless gender swapping and killing of John Connor as a child just to do that ruined the movie. Not to mention the biggest issue was that it just didn't do anything new. I mean, once again, it was just yet another Terminator 2 knockoff. It's been done to death and nobody wants to see the same freaking movie 5 times in a row over many decades. Also, let's not forget director Tim Miller having an absolute meltdown at fans who were criticizing the movie leading up to its release. That man went absolutely ballistic and was calling them misogynists and all other kinds of nonsense, which also put a huge damper on the entire thing. Also ridiculous is the idea there is any franchise or world-building potential in the fairly simple concept that made Terminator and Terminator 2 work. You can only have an unstoppable killer cyborg go back in time to alter the future so often before it goes stale. And that's the whole Terminator concept, no matter how much you build out the universe. No matter where or when you set Terminator, it's just a robot chasing people. Yeah, once again, they hit the nail on the head. I mean, the idea and story of Terminator was absolutely awesome back in the 80s, and one more time in Terminator 2. But for God's sake, after a couple more decades of just doing the same shit over and over again, to say the Terminator franchise has become stale would be an understatement. There's only one way I would be down to see yet another Terminator movie, and that's if they could find a way to completely reinvent it while keeping the spirit of the originals, and still manage to be as exciting of a movie as the first two, but that's an impossible hill for Hollywood to climb, even with James Cameron leading the production. Just stop with the frickin' Terminator movies. So yeah, James Cameron is absolutely out of his mind for thinking that Linda and Arnold were the cause of Dark Fate being a box office bomb. They were the only reason it made the money it did, and I can't friggin' believe he doesn't see that. But after all, coming from the guy who was responsible for the idea to kill John Connor to replace him with a girl for no reason, yeah, I'm not really that surprised he can't see that. So let me know what you think of this woke on woke attack in the comments down below. If you enjoyed it, hit that like button and check out one of these other videos I uploaded recently. Or consider subscribing if you want more content just like this. I'll catch you all later.